back to the Mr. Excel podcast. I'm Bill Jelen. Today we have the same item number that we had in yesterday's podcast. It has a manufacturing code, a dash, and then the actual item number. Yesterday we used the find function and the left function to extract the manufacturer code. Today we want to try and extract the rest of that entry. We want to get the part number. So again, we're going to start with the find function. Equal find, in quotes, the dash, in cell A2 will tell us that the dash occurs, in this particular case, in the third position. So when we go to use the mid function, we know that we'll want to start one character after that. But then the harder part is how many characters do we want to get? There's a great function called len function. Equal len of A2 will tell us that A2 contains 10 characters in this particular case. So as we start to build the mid function, we're going to take the mid of A2. We're going to start one space after the find function that's in F2. We're going to use the length of the text, that's G2, minus the find in F2. There we go. Highlight all three of those cells, double click the fill handle, and we have the item number in column H. Now in yesterday's podcast I showed the trick of how to actually make that function fit into one cell. It's a lot harder today because we actually used cell F2 twice. And so I had to take that find and paste it here where the F2 used to be, and the find and paste it here where the F2 occurred a second time. Now, some of you may be saying, hey, there's an easier way to do this. Just enter the mid function, and for the length, use a huge number, like 50. That way you know no matter how long the part number is, you're always going to get the rest of the item number. Okay, now the problem with that is that in earlier versions of Excel will actually cause Excel to pad 44 spaces at the end of the text. Now that's been fixed in Excel 2003, but in case you're using an earlier version of Excel, if you're going to use this method, you have to wrap the entire function in the trim function. Trim will remove any leading and trailing spaces from the data. There you have it, a couple of different ways to find the item number. Thanks for joining us. Stop back tomorrow for another podcast from Mr. Excel.